Read into this global sell-off at the markets. Financial planner Stewart Welch joins us. He's going to talk a little bit about this. We also got some information on the PACT plan that we're going to touch on in a moment too. Stewart, what can we read into what's happening right now?
Well, of course, there's nothing but craziness going on,
yeah.
and the market obviously took a huge hit yesterday on the downgrade that happened over the weekend. So yesterday was the first day you had an opportunity to do trading. It looks very oversold. You know, it was like an overreaction to what they consider to be the crisis. And what we're seeing today is the futures markets are up. So, I don't want to say yesterday was capitulation, but I think in the long run, this is investors are going to absorb this information and they're going to look at the fundamentals of what's going on in corporations, and they're going to be ready to begin to move forward.
Is this strictly the S&P downgrade of U.S., or is it a variety of things factoring into all of this?
It is, Rick, it's a variety of things. So what investors hate is uncertainty. Yeah. And so you had the uncertainty of the debt ceiling, and then the uncertainty of the way the lawmakers came together at the very last minute at every opportunity to deal with it. And then you had S&P do the downgrade on top of that. And so there's just been uncertainty mounted on top of uncertainty on top of uncertainty. And, investors just said, I'm going to take a breather.
Barring other news that could turn things other way. We went into this year, you and I had talked about this a lot, most everybody was writing that this year, 2011, was going to be a bullish year on the stock market. Basically giving away any gains that we've had this year at this point. Still got almost half a year to go out there. Still feel bullish about this year?
Yeah, I still think that I think before the end of the year, investors will come back into the market and looking at the fundamentals of what's going on in these big corporations, and they're going to be buyers of stocks.
Let's talk about the PACT plan, Alabama's troubled PACT plan. A couple of things have happened in the last couple of weeks that you wanted to point out to folks out there.
Well, the first thing is Judge finalized a settlement that basically freezes the PACT responsibility to the fall of 2010 tuitions. So if you own a PACT plan, you're going to bear the responsibility for any increases in tuition from fall of 2010 forward until you actually use the money. So I think a big question for somebody who owns PACT is, do I stay in or do I get out? It's a pretty tough question. The simple rule of thumb, you will want to go beyond this, but if you've been in the PACT program, if you've been invested in the PACT program for longer than the time before you start pulling money out of the PACT plan, you probably ought to stay in. Otherwise, you probably ought to cash your chips in. And if you cash your chips in, all you're going to get back is what you invested. So if you had potential gains associated with those investments, those gains are going to get wiped out.
Okay, so that's something important to keep in mind. Make a lot of decisions, kind of determine what that redemption value is going to be, kind of make your steps from there.
That's exactly right.
Stewart, it's good to see you.
Thanks
today. Thanks a lot. Pet Rehab, the veteran.